There we go. Sounds familiar. That's right. How you doing out there, ladies and gentlemen? It's Emos the Witness, and I'm back again for the Phil Show. And as you know, right now it stands for What the Fuck I Look Like. Let me get a little bit of more volume on that intro, if I could. Thank you, Malik. I'm downtown at 120 East Market Street, live, as you guys know. Down here at Wave One Media. I just said come down and get you a show. And again, here we go. We tackle all the big issues of the day, the big current events. We push back against politicians. We hold them accountable for their misdeeds, for their issues, for their speeches, and how they manipulate us. So again, this is Emos the Witness, the Phil Show, live downtown at 120 East Market Street. You can catch me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those good things. Website coming soon. So let's get into the news. Let's bring down that background music. My man Malik is on the ones and twos. So how y'all doing out there? We get into the weekend. It's Freestyle Friday. As you guys know, we like to kind of get into all various topics of the day. We're going to touch on what's currently going on. As you guys know, man, we had a big, huge building collapse in Miami. That was a couple days ago. A whole condo collapsed. Well, not the whole one, but the whole side of it. And, I think we're still trying to find out what the hell happened. I just read one article, this article in particular. I don't want to get into it too yet, but I want to talk about the Miami condo collapse. That's very big. I want to talk about politics, of course. Biden and the Republicans are kind of getting together on an infrastructure bill. We also have a policing bill on the horizon. So we got some coming together. Looks like we got going on in politics in Congress. And also breaking news, though, how we do have also is that Derek Chauvin, the police officer who shot and killed George Floyd, has been sentenced today. This is actually breaking news. He received 22 years, 22 and a half years in prison for the murder of George Floyd. That just broke a moment ago. We'll get into that as well. Here the intro show, Emos the Witness, the Phil Show, saying what the fuck I look like. Hit that like, subscribe button. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Again, the reason why the show was created was to be another voice, be another medium to push back against mainstream media's manipulation. Be able to speak about topics objectively. We all together become witnesses. We learn about what's been going on. We hold truth to power, so that when we get to those 2022 elections and 2024 elections and each season, we know we're informed. We know what we're talking about. We're better at those those voting booths when we make a decision. No longer are we manipulated by higher powers who don't have our best interests at heart. So I encourage you guys to come out, build you a show, create you a blog, create you a site, lend your voice to the public discord. No longer sit back and say what was given to you. We've seen it too often in 2016 and 2020. We've been duped during the elections. You may have a sure bet of who's going to win a certain race, and then you wake up the next day and it's all kind of haywire going on, chaos. It seems to get worse and worse every single election season. So we got to combat that by having a new voice. We got to combat that by speaking our truth, by questioning things, questioning these laws and these policies, how things are done. If you let them go by the wayside and you ignore them, you lose your freedoms. Yeah, they're under attack as we speak. Right to free speech, right to protest, right to bear arms, Then you look at social media, you look at the censorship, you look at what you can see, what you can't see, what you can hear, what you can read, what you can't read. How does that bode well for your children's future? When the laws start tightening, grips of power start getting stronger and stronger, and then you look up, you can't do anything, you can barely move. That's a lot that's happening right now in a lot of other countries. And we got to fix that here in the United States as we speak, because, like I said, this is the melting pot of the world, and there's no other country better than the United States. There's no other country you would rather live in the United States. So if you want to criticize it, you got to make sure you criticize and do your part. Emos the Witness is what I do. I aim to do my part. I aim to be a voice, a guide, a messenger, a witness to inform you, and we all come together objectively, and we push back, and we're well informed. Okay, so so I'm in a good mood. I'm kind of in a mixed mood because of some of the sad things that have been happening in the world. But I'm in a good mood because of what I was seeing this week in politics, as far as the collaboration between the two parties. It could be make believe, it could be a show, but some important bills are coming around the corner that can really affect the economy. and then you combine this with this policing bill. You combine it with this verdict on Derek Chauvin. It's like you're getting some kind of closure on a lot of key issues that have been really boiling up over the past 6-7 months. Since November, and we need closure. We need progress. We need to move forward. And I'm glad to see that. Shout out to the U.S. Post Office, Malik. They found my passport, man.
Did you have to call them?
Man, dude, damn near took a trip. I was gonna do a lot of shit, man. I had a whole plan. I know when I really want to do something, I really get zeroed in. So I was ready to call a local passport office. I done put so many different cases in places at the post office and the passport office. You spend a lot of money on these trips, man. And I'm telling you, COVID is like the ultimate excuse.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, man! People use that shit for everything. And this dude, at this point, I was talking to the guy at the passport office. He didn't even want to say COVID, but he knew he had to say it. Like he just kind of mumbled it in his whole little. Oh, sir, I'm checking your tracking number. I'm looking. No. Had a lot of layoffs with COVID. That's exactly what I said to him. I said, I don't bring that COVID shit up. There you go with that COVID. Every fucking 5 minutes, somebody call customer service. 5 minutes in, they want to bring up COVID.
Did he have a mask on?
No, this is a phone call. This is a phone call. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's the ultimate excuse and shit. I can't believe it, man. So, luckily they found my passport, man. So I look like I'll be going to Jamaica. So far, so good. And then we found another question we got to answer. Is how does this whole vaccination shit go when you're traveling overseas? So I looked it up, and you got to get tested 3 days before. No more than 3 days before you go on your trip. You need to be tested.
Yeah.
And then 3 days before you come back, you got to get tested.
You got to get the right test, too. My friend said you got to get a specific test. I forget which one it is, though.
It's not the rapid test, huh? I got to find that shit out.
Yeah, you definitely got to figure it out.
I was just going to go to CVS, you know what I'm saying? I thought we could do some drive-through shit.
CVS is doing the right test.
between CVS, Walgreens, yeah, they are, man. You go to a Walgreens in a nice area, suburbs, you go get you that good. You might get a certificate, a badge, and a sucker. Now, you go to the fucking Walgreens, CVS on 38th Street. I wouldn't take that risk.
Probably gonna leave with something you didn't come in with.
Exactly. It's just everybody's in your business. There's no curtain when they testing you and shit. I'm telling you, this ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But what if you go on like a 5-day, 4-night trip, man? It's like you gotta get tested 3 days before you go, and then you gotta get tested on like that third day before you leave.
For real?
That's what it says. You gotta get tested on the way back.
Dang, so you can get stuck out there?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I doubt that.
I heard in Hawaii, you can't even go to Hawaii. You can't board a plane to Hawaii if you didn't get vaccinated. Vaccinated.
I heard it was tested.
I think you told me that.
No,
huh?
it's tested.
Oh, it's tested?
Yeah.
Okay, that's apparently the going policy going around the world, but but like I said, it's mixed reviews because like I said, I got my passport, which it shows that we're not in collapse yet as a society. I was like, man, damn, the post office not working.
Do you have it, or did they just say they know where?
I'm just so happy I got a status update.
Oh,
I went to the passport website and looked up my name, and it had an update. It said, we got your shit. We're working on it. You requested expedited service, and we'll get it to you. Hey, so I believe, I have faith that's on the way back. Because previously it was lost in the mail, and they were saying shit like Philadelphia is on some Juneteenth strike shit. I'm like for real, motherfuckers. And then dude brought up COVID again, all that COVID shit. I didn't believe one, I gotta believe the other. That's the problem. That's the problem with niggas, man. I'm serious, man. Like we get it. We get a little bit of holiday, a little celebration. We just let it loose. We just get all kind of. We don't handle it responsibly, man. So we're not taking it serious. Like Juneteenth is a very special moment. I'm glad that law was passed. But man, motherfuckers is murdering cats all weekend during Juneteenth last weekend. In Chicago, people were getting murdered at the Puerto Rican parade. Is on video. People killing without any kind of remorse. How the hell you gonna riot and vandalize on Juneteenth? What you mad about? Yeah, so I don't know what we're mad. I don't know. I think we don't know what we want, and we're just still trying to get it organized. But like I said, I try not to have too much opinion on the George Floyd issue because I feel like it's a lightning rod issue made to push people's buttons and provoke and cause election results that are really disingenuous. But anyway, I just think that we might have closure now. We got a sentence. Let's move on. We got a policing reform bill coming around the corner. We got an infrastructure bill coming around the corner, which will lead towards more jobs and economic prosperity. hopefully higher wages. That's the difference between higher minimum wage. I'm talking about higher salaries. It's a difference. It really is a difference in that. Excuse me, guys. Got a little heartburn going on there. Yeah, there's a lot of great things going on. The NBA playoffs. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit too. You know, NBA playoffs is alive and well. We're down to the final four teams. We got the Atlanta Hawks versus Milwaukee Bucks. We got the Clippers versus the Phoenix Suns. Well, my man Hakeem from Coming to America says we have the Clippers of Los Angeles versus the Suns of Phoenix. And man, they're very entertaining games. I'm trying to tell you, the light-skinned brothers representing. You got Trae Young and Devin Booker. I have representing all the beige, man. They are dunking and just carrying on and just changing things up, you know. And it's good to see that happening. Good to see a lot of variety in the NBA. A lot of new young talent. You know, you seeing LeBron James. He been in the playoffs for the last 15, 20 years straight in the finals. So it's good to see a lot of change. I see a lot of new faces, but you know, and so it's great to look at. We got the Hawks versus the Bucks tonight, game 2. We'll see if they can pull out. See if the Hawks can pull out another victory. You know, that momentum though. You guys, what I think? I think that I think the Hawks might pull it out, man. You know, if they win tonight, they're definitely going to go into the finals. You know, and I always look at the point guard play. So I think that you're going to see either the Suns. I got Suns versus Hawks, and I got Suns maybe winning it. You know, I just think that point guard play is always going to be key. And then it comes down to coaching. So Chris Paul versus Trae Young. We'll see what happens. I'm calling it right now. Emos to witness. Y'all hit that like, subscribe button. It's a Phil show. See what the fuck I look like. This is a new show. Like I said, we're brand new. We're live today. I've never done a show like this before, but you know, together, like I said, we're here to combat our politicians. We're here to hold them accountable. We're here to look into these issues more detailed and find sources and articles that we don't really see all the time. Information we don't always hear on a day-to-day basis from mainstream media. You know, I'm looking here to be another source for you, another source of information. And we're here to hold truth to power, whether that be in politics, whether that be in social media, whether that be in Hollywood, whether that be in business, and our icons and tycoons who have the power to also influence and change this world. What you got to understand is that we as a people also have that opportunity as well, okay, through our collective and just being informed. Okay, so I'm downtown live at 120 East Market Street on Fridays from 4 to whenever. We have these pre-shows coming up on Wednesdays and clips throughout the week. So as we grow, you know, I want you guys to grow with me and become witnesses. July 4th, check me out. I got a live show, a special, July 4th about 8 p.m. Would you guys come down here, and I got a new guest for you guys, a new personality named Larry Sugar. Where we're gonna dive into and debate everything under the sun, from politics to sports to entertainment, whatever's trending. So yeah, Emos to Witness aims to bring you a lot of new variety, a lot of new content, a lot of new fresh perspectives. Our website is also coming soon, emostowitness.com. Check that out. It'll be a lot of blogs and a lot of information on there, a lot of polls and things that get you involved as well with the chat and getting you involved in the community as far as spreading information and wealth. So I want you guys to check that out as well. So yeah, I hope all the fathers out there had a happy Father's Day. Hope you got that big steak and big potato like you should, like you deserve. And why can't we get that shit every day? You know, I really wish that. I mean, I'm probably guessing, but shit, I'm probably not. You know, that we get back to that plate on the stove for the husband. You know what I'm talking about? That big ass plate with the biggest piece of chicken wrapped in foil when he comes home late. That's daily, huh?
Like the 50s.
Yeah. You know, I told you I was raised by grandparents. So I was raised by grandparents, so I've seen all that shit. My grandma would make motherfucking Salisbury steak or whatever, mashed potatoes and green beans. You know, I would eat my plate. Yeah, and I would want seconds. But there'd be no seconds left. The whole kitchen be clean. But it'd be that one plate on the stove for granddaddy. He'd probably get home about 10 p.m., 10:15. But it'd always be that biggest fucking piece of chicken. It'd always be the biggest portions. And, you know, I'm a little hard-headed. I'm a little punk, I guess. So I would pull little chunks off that meat before he got home. I'll pull off a little. By the time he got in, he wouldn't have a couple leg quarters. He'd have 2 fucking thighs sitting on the plate. And I done took the legs off that bitch. You know, just doing weird shit. You know, just violating this whole long day. So yeah, I'll get my ass beat for that shit. But anyway, where was I going with that? I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. Emos, my man Wyatt told me to be more on track with shit, keep shit basic. But like I said, I have a tendency to jump around, so I don't even know where I was going with that. You might know. Big piece of chicken, tear pieces off. You know where I was going with that? I don't know.
I have no clue.
All right, let's move on. Let's get into some fucking news. That's what it's all about, right? So yeah, like this Miami issue. You know what caused this? You know, I'm gonna go back to the Derek Chauvin details because I want to go into the policing bill as well because that's what spurred it off. Because remember, the George Floyd Act was passed by the House, and it just got approved by the Senate. So let's go into that right now. So judge sentenced Derek Chauvin to 22 years for the murder of George Floyd. I don't think you have this article. I think. Oh yeah, that's what you can show it up if you want to. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin was sentenced Friday to 22 and a half years in prison for the murder of George Floyd. For more than 1 year after Floyd's death sparked the international movement against police brutality. So you guys may recall the hot summer of 2020 during all this protest. I don't think the George Floyd actual killing happened during that time, but it really spurred a lot of protests, a lot of hot political controversy over the past year and a half. We had a lot of protests from NBA players and sports icons all alike, and celebrities and movements that pushed police reform. You know, it seems to happen on a common basis during election season, but this one actually really pushed the button harder. People really got impacted by this. Where it actually, had some staying power. Where no one just laws being passed in local levels and on the federal level. But people were really sincere on how this was handled. Was really sincere on how it was commemorated and how it was kept into the limelight over the past year and a half. And as a result, we have this federal law on the verge of being passed for policing, and we have some closure that hopefully kind of causes a sobering effect in society and in the police ranks. I mean, this is the first, I believe, the first murder conviction for a police officer, if I recall. A lot of times, there'll be a lot of suspensions and people being fired and things like that. But this is actually a case where you actually see a police officer being really held accountable. And like I said, and then again, it's a hot button issue. It causes a lot of division in the country. And so what's most important for me is that we have closure on this. We're able to move forward on some of the laws that are enacted, and just kind of how we treat one another going forward. There's no perfect solution. There's always going to be a bad egg in a bunch, and we continue to weed them out. Like my man was trying to drain the swamp. We need to start to make sure we drain out all these all these big corporate entities and all these institutions. Keep cleaning them up, and we also got to keep things in perspective, and we also got to make sure people aren't trying to manipulate us. Like we said, we know there's good cops. We know there's bad airplane pilots, and there's good ones. Boy, we want to lower that percentage. We don't want to crash and burn. This society, this country is held up by laws, and it's important that we adhere to them because we have anarchy, we have chaos if we don't. So this is a step in the right direction, in my opinion. We got to get rid of the anger. We got to get to the next step. We can't get angry and blow shit up and go home and sit on the couch. Let's fix some of these laws, and let's point the finger where it needs to be pointed at. Accountability. Emos to witness, hit the like, subscribe button. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Website is out there, becoming soon even better. We got July 4th special. We'll probably unveil the website on the 4th of July. So yeah, it's kind of a segue into the sentencing that was breaking news today. Let's get into the policing bill that I've been seeing per CNN here. Policing bill negotiators say that they've reached an agreement on framework, but talks will continue. Now Senator Tim Scott was working on this bill during the Trump administration, and like I said, the George Floyd bill is what it was kind of framed as, and it was passed by the House, and it was in the Senate, and now they're coming to that the framework is kind of being agreed upon. And Tim Scott had a June deadline to get this going, and they're about to go to resource for the 4th. So the only thing that's stopping this bill right now is time. So let's read into this a little bit. Congressional negotiators seeking a path forward on legislation aimed at overhauling the nation's policing laws announced Thursday they reached an agreement on framework for the package, but said talks will continue over the next few weeks. Now, the announcement came a day before the Senate leaves for its 2-week July 4th recess, and negotiators have publicly set a deadline to make progress before the end of the month in order for talks to continue. Still, the announcement from Tim Scott, South Carolina, and chief Republican negotiator and Democratic lead negotiators, Rep. Karen Bass of California and Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey, did not have many details about what the framework entailed. After months of working in good faith, we have reached an agreement on a framework addressing the major issues for bipartisan police reform. The three lawmakers said in a joint statement, "There is still more work to be done on that final bill, and nothing is agreed upon until everything is agreed to. Over the next few weeks, we look forward to continuing our work towards getting a finalized proposal across the finish line." Now, you know, a lot of times politicians like to jump ahead of these things. Like the next paragraph, for example, White House Press Secretary Jean Psaki said in a statement that President Joe Biden is grateful that Rep. Bass, Senator Booker, and Senator Scott for all their hard work on police reform. Looks forward to collaborating with them on a path ahead. So they're kind of still that chess game because any party could blow this up. But what's so key about it is how you get credit. Who's looking credit for this bill? Now, to me, it should be bipartisan. But I do want to give respect and shout out to Tim Scott for who's been working on this for a long time. But it just goes to show it takes two parties to make something happen. Because this easily could have been a bill that Republicans could have just took over. But I think both sides, including I remember Senator Booker, heavy on this case. We've really been working hard on police reform. So I want to credit both parties for actually trying to work this out. Hopefully, time won't stop this from being passed. If you scroll down a little bit more, Malik, I think the issue is regarding time, but just a little backdrop on what this George Floyd Justice Policing Act of 2021 is a civil rights and policing reform bill drafted by Democrats and the United States Congress, including members of the Congressional Black Caucus. The legislation was introduced by the United States House of Reps in February 24th of 2021. The legislation aims at combating police misconduct, excessive force, and racial bias. See, those things are so, like, everything's so objective. That's the only thing I hate is that, racial bias, excessive force, police misconduct. Who's making those judgments? Who's making those final calls? Hopefully, we're digging into this bill and we'll see that hopefully it's not a police reform committee, that's making these final decisions on their fellow friends and officers. We got to have some kind of objectivity on an external platform and making these calls when it comes to these cases. If you look at it, like I said, in perspective, there's a small percentage of these things that are happening on an annual basis. It's just how much more do we push the envelope, make it a hot button issue, and cause some kind of, ill intent on society that divides us. We don't want that. We got to avoid those noises while we try to solve these critical issues that, in essence, should be common sense. But here at the Emos to Win the Show, we know there's not common sense, so we got to make sure we lay it out for everybody, right? So we're going to the infrastructure article. Like I said, the bipartisan network is being done here in Washington, and it's great to hear, great to see. Biden and senators reached broad infrastructure deal. Now, it's a significant victory. President Biden and a bipartisan group of centrist senators reached a deal Thursday for $1.2 trillion in investments to build the nation's infrastructure. A victory for the White House, but only the first lurch in what promised to be an arduous attempt to reshape the nation's economic and social programs. This is a very big part of what could possibly solidify power for the Democratic Party. Unfortunately, President Trump was pushing his infrastructure deal hard before his second term began, and he lost the election. And you would think you think that he was, if any president was going to be a builder of this country, it would have been him. A builder. He's an architect at heart. I mean, he's a builder. He built all these skyscrapers in New York. He has all these different buildings in his name and his ownership. He knows a thing or two about construction. It's in his family blood. I just thought we were going to see Trump highways and bridges and roads and the wall named after him, and things would be done in an efficient manner, cost-effective manner. I think that's what I envisioned. I think that was going to solidify a lot of power for the Republican Party. And it just shows you how power can slip out your fingers, and then how power can be consumed immensely right away. And the Democrats are poised between the stimulus checks, between policing now, between infrastructure. If they can corral their foreign policy blunders, if they can work with Russia, you may have a democratic lean on this country for decades to come. Now, if that's good or bad, I think it's bad. You know, like I put in my title, you know, Biden, you know, to me, disqualified. You know, no matter how good you do, no matter what you do, no matter what you try to no matter what kind of bill you pass to butter us up, you have to answer for what happened in 2020. And right now, I told you guys in regards to the vote. And right now, we have politicians in key swing states and other states right now pushing back on the voting laws and making sure they're secure for the next election. Because over 74 million Americans do not believe this past election was authentic. So I really can't push too much or champion too much of Biden's laws or policies that he's pushing because I don't think he's legitimate. Emos the Winners does not think he's legitimate. I'm sorry. I'd rather stick to the side of integrity for my country's sake than to go along to get along. I don't go along to get along. And you know, we can have infrastructure all day. We can have these laws passed, but I just want to make sure that we have the right leadership in office. You know? But what I do like about this bill coming up, what I do like about the parameters and what's going on with the framework is how they plan to pay for this. A few paragraphs down, the plan would also pour billions of dollars into waterways and coastlines and washing away, as a warning planet sea. I'm sorry, let me talk that shit over. Sorry. The plan would also pour billions of dollars into waterways and coastlines, washing away as a warning planet rising sea levels, and $7.5 billion into financing 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations, all part of Biden's climate pledges. It would be paid for, here it is, in part with a $40 billion increase in IRS enforcement budget to bring in $140 billion in unpaid taxes, as well as repurposing unspent coronavirus relief funds, according to the outline provided by the White House. So that's pretty cool. We find innovative ways to not overtax us or not put things on our plate that we can't afford, while still trying to build this country, right? Now we know we had a lot of corruption going on with the coronavirus relief, people not paying their taxes. It's always been a historical, issue. So it's cool. You put in $40 billion to increase the enforcement of bringing in these tax dollars. That's good. People pay your bills. We'll throw it into the roads and bridges. You know, let's get into those people who truly didn't pay their taxes. I'm for that. So I'm glad to see the presidency and Republicans at the same time are trying to find efficient ways or smart ways, or creative ways to pay for some of these policies, these bills. That's what we need. We need to get rid of the pork, the excessive spending. We truly do. Imagine where that money will go, what programs we can add to with a cleanup like that, with a trimming. And I think I really have to credit the Trump administration for wanting to drain the swamp, for wanting to that's crazy, to want to drain the swamp, to want to clean up various issues, and keep on pushing that, clean out politicians and get rid of preaching on term limits. It holds people accountable, makes people tighten up their belt. When they're going ahead and talking about these bills and these issues, they're making sure that they're covering things based on what the people want, not what they can line up with their pockets. They might get exposed instead of lining their pockets up. So I'm just hoping those subtle changes, we're starting to see a change in our leadership as a result of what we've seen going on recently in the past with previous administrations. So yeah, Emos the Winners Show. Hit that like, subscribe button. Catch me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We're growing as a show. I said the whole point is we want to hold politicians accountable. We want to stay abreast of all these issues. We also want to stay up to date on what's going on in these current investigations. With the Durham report, the investigating the Russia probe, investigating the investigators, that's still going on. So I aim to always keep you updated on what's going on with those issues as well. Okay. But the whole point is, man, we want to avoid the corn dogs. We want to avoid the nonsense, right? We have right now we have. Excuse me, all over the place. But like I said, right now we have Democrats controlling the House, Democrats controlling the Senate. They're controlling the presidency. And although I see, a collaboration on some of these bills and some of these issues, I do worry about, what's going on in these cities with some of these laws being passed by Democratic mayors and governors. So it's not always good to have a one-sided leadership. I mean, you look at this video. You show that last Facebook video was going on in California. They passed laws where, I think it's the last one over here on the other Facebook one. They're passing laws where they're making misdemeanors. Anything under $950, you can shoplift. Look at this. This man, he's just stealing in public. People are recording him. He knows the laws. This is in San Francisco, California. Look. I mean, but he can get locked up, but he won't get charged anything. It's a misdemeanor. Look at he done rolled into Walgreens on his bike with a trash bag.
Walgreens.
Look at this.
You keep pulling out of the Bay Area because they can't make any money because you can walk in and steal whatever you want and it's no longer a crime. So Walgreens is like, we're out.
Prosecutors in San Francisco and in many other
places,
throughout the state of California, for example, but not just there, no longer charge shoplifters.
Let me
so
check my notes
steal whatever they want.
So I think it's the dollar amount is like $950
due to what local reports are
calling. If you can steal under $950 worth of stuff,
shoplifting.
You actually get away. Look at this guy.
Just 15 minutes after an Inside Edition crew
this is dead. This is what leads to idiocracy. This is what leads to chaos. If we don't anarchy. If we don't if we don't pass the right kind of laws to keep the or enforce the laws on
no
books.
One's stopping him.
He knows he's a smart man. Look, this. They passed a law where you can steal up to $950 worth of stuff and get away with it. Isn't that crazy? That's what's going on. This is California, you guys.
Every day.
How can you keep your stores stocked? You know, and that just means I don't know what this pertains to. I guess this is a result of, defund the police. When you defund the police, things like this occur. Laws get laxed. Police don't want to do the job. So again, in order to avoid this, we need to come together as bipartisan, as a group, as a nation, and pass laws that strengthen our police force and strengthen our society. This is not a look at this shit. This is not a law. This is not. Look at the police officer. He don't know what to do. He don't know what to do.
Definitely a security guard.
Yeah, security guard. What's he gonna do? Why waste your time? You know good and well I'm gone. Yeah, you should be gone. You're stealing. Crazy. I'm shocked. I'm appalled. Like I said, like how can you get mad that you're stealing? You're not stealing properly. I got no words. But yeah, let's move on. Let's move on. But yeah, like I said, the society, like I said, the stats are out there, right? We already know that a lot of liberal cities that ran in 2020, in the summer of 2020, all the chaos between Black Lives Matter and Antifa, all these things occurred in like Baltimore, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, San Francisco. You look at their jobless rates. You look at their crime rates, all higher than Republican-led cities. Now, it's my opinion. I'm under the thought that it was deliberate. Democrats are doing everything in their power to win back the presidency and the House and the Senate. And they did it. At what expense? And you're seeing these laws being passed that are ridiculous, where you can steal at will, as long as it's under $1,000. Shit, no one should be poor anymore. Shit, you hungry? Go in the store and grab a ham. Walk the fuck out. It's all good. It is. Grab you a fucking sandwich, man. I'm gonna wait till they do that shit at the restaurants. Yeah, you can walk out after you order some shit, just Cheesecake Factory, just walk out. It's all good. When they open that law to restaurants, that's where you find me. Emos the Witness. You gotta check that like, subscribe button. The point is, we don't want to be no corn dog. Check out this shit. So I'm gonna click right there, man. As we close the show out, y'all. Like I said, we'll be back on Monday. Cover up all the news of the day, of the week, to start the week off, get you on the right foot. But this weekend, man, please, y'all, check this video out. Don't be no corn dog. Avoid the corn dogs wherever you go. I'm Mr. Winnish, y'all. I'm out.
Get the corn dogs.
Fuck the corn dogs. I'm finna beat your ass. I'm finna beat your goddamn ass. Fuck them corn dogs.
Emos the Witness, y'all. See y'all Monday. I'm out.